Hello and welcome back to the channel, here for yet another league race, this time in the CSGB F2 league, and we have a Vietnam this week. Just before we get into the video, I'd like to just say, if you do enjoy this video by the end of it, do leave a like and subscribe as well, helps me out massively. And also I can say, yes, this video is just under half an hour long, but it is definitely worth watching. Some of the stuff in this video is absolutely crazy. And yeah, so do stick around, and again, hope you enjoy the video. So as always, jumping straight into qualifying, we have a wet qualifying here for Vietnam, possibly one of the worst tracks for it to rain at. This track has absolutely no grip in the dry, and now we're here in the wet trying to qualify as we come through turn 5 on our first attempt. Just lose the back end a little bit there, just lock out to the wall. I did a damage check just after that and it was all good. No real issues. First lap was in 52.8. The end of the second lap as we turn into turn tunnel, we actually hit the inside wall, and then the outside wall as we come over the line is the fastest lap time with a 1:48.9, I think that said. It is going to be a dry race, so not too many concerns there, and I just did 2 laps there, couldn't get another one. Felt like the car just wasn't kind of reacting how I wanted it to. So back into the pit lane at the end of that lap, and then get ready to go straight back out. Obviously no time to waste in a wet session. In qualifying, want to do as many laps as you can, at least I want to do as many laps as I can. So now on lap 3, coming into turn 3, you can just see the car hubs just sliding through the corner. There's absolutely no grip here whatsoever. Just kind of trying to do what I can with what I've got as I come through the final corner. However, the end of lap 3 you can see it is down, but it was a perfect sector 3, probably just because we didn't hit the wall. We head down into turn 1. I believe this is my fastest lap. Here on lap 4, so you see we coming now through turn 2. Little snap of oversteer, just so I get the car turned into turn 3. They're narrowly missing the wall as well on the inside. From oversteer to understeer, like very quickly, a little bit annoying, but these things happen. Going down towards turn 6, the car moving around a little bit. That wasn't entirely me. It honestly felt like the car just had no grip. Just wheels spinning all the way down the straight, doesn't really matter what gear you're in. Let's go for that very horrible left-hander at turn 8, just takes ages to get through in the dry, just waiting to pick up the throttle. And there, even in the wet, it's even longer due to the reduced speed. Heading down now through turn 10, up towards the hairpin at turn 11. Just trying to stay in this sort of like, well, not quite a dry line, but kind of the racing line down the straight. Of course, first gear through the hairpin, best rotation, short shifting them up into second. Probably should have short shifted into third as well, but I didn't at the time. Who knows why. Because we come now down through turn 13, I think that was. You can see we are purple through sector 1 and sector 2, now heading through the final sector. This sector, honestly, it was so difficult to find time, because you wanted to push as hard as you possibly could, but then if you push up just a tiny bit too much and overdrove the car, you're going to be in the wall, or you're going to hit a wall, you're going to spin, just lose grip or whatever. And then coming out to the final corner, as we come up to the line, it is P1 at 1:47.7, which is enough to take provisional pole at the moment. James Dovey, I think, has a couple more laps to go. So we went deep into turn 1, so I thought I'd just back out of this lap, do a slow lap, get a chance to go again. You see 23 seconds slower that time around. Head down into turn 1 this time. Again, not the best, but we stay at it as we head down through turn 2, using as much of the inside there as possible. So heading now through turn 3 again, without missing the inside wall. Just come through 4, and then as we go just about through 5, the back of the car just snaps, and we're into the wall. Very nearly get collected by Dovey there, and then again by Kieran. So yeah, I may have impeded their laps, but not much I could have done. You know, no front wing in the wall. But as you can see there, the 47.7 was enough for pole by half a second in the end. Again, probably could have found a little bit more time, but we deal with what we can. Obviously Anton down in P6, so not the end of the world, of course. Constructors, I think we could have won it today. Of course, in the CSGB we have 2 races, a feature and a sprint race. This one being a 50% race, and the sprint race, which you'll see towards the end of this video, is of course a 25% race. Now getting ready for the lights. We can win the championship today as long as we score 2 points. That's all we need. 2 points by the end of this race and we are confirmed champions. We're coming out off the line. You can see an absolutely horrendous start. I wanted to start on softs. You would have also seen from my strategy screen, I did select soft tyres, and then the game was like, nope, here you go, have these. These are better. These tyres were not the worst. I mean, mediums here are absolutely horrendous. If you choose to use the medium tyres with the Veitnam, you're just going to fall backwards. They honestly just have no grip. So hards are probably the better long-term option. Probably even medium-term option. Of course, softs are just feel amazing around here, really.
Let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Let's see. We haven't lost any more places from the start. We did lose 3 places before turn 1, which is quite difficult to do here. Of course, the run into turn 1 isn't even that long. As we head up now to turn 12, you see my teammate right up behind me. He actually jumped here and off the start, I want to say. So just go a little bit defensive, but he just backs out of that one. As we're trying to catch up to JD and Rizanovsky ahead of us. We of course started behind, but were 2 of the 3 cars that jumped into turn 1. At this point here, James Dovey is absolutely flying away out in front. There really isn't too much I can do about that, of course. I did the job in qualifying. And here, I think I stood a chance of holding the lead into turn 1 if I wasn't on hard tyres. But these things, you know, they are what they are. As I said, we just deal with what we can. Try and do the job to the best of my ability. You see a 42.9 for Dovey on that first lap. I do a 45 something. So about 2-3 seconds slower. On to lap 5 now, heading up towards turn 10 and 11, right up behind Rizanovsky. So we ducked to the inside of turn 10, which will change to the outside for the hairpin. But we've already cleared the outer ray before we get anywhere near there. So back up into a top 3 position now. I know Anton was actually working wonders behind me, fighting guys behind, holding them back. And I'll jump forwards onto lap 9. You see right up behind JD now. We have dropped Rizanovsky. Actually, I think he pitted, as he's not currently in that top left. On the delta, we flick now through the final corner. JD, I think, hit the inside wall, so he was severely compromised, so we duck out to the inside and take up pole position on the pit straight. I didn't really want to take it there, but if I didn't, I would have lost so much time. First fight, you can see the gap for James W right now is 8.3 seconds. Then on the end of the lap, he dives into the pit lane, I do believe. Yes, he does. To get rid of those softs, I believe he goes into the hard tyres. We're of course staying out. We're doing pretty much the complete opposite to what he's doing. So we're now going to take the lead of this race. We head around the final corner. JD also into the pits with mediums. Probably going to take them a bit longer. As I said, mediums feel absolutely horrendous around here. Jumping now onto lap 18. I couldn't really decide if I wanted to go a little longer. So we just decided to come in now. 10 laps on the softs at the end. Shouldn't be too difficult. Although this track, as I said, is quite rear dependent. Of course, the tyres don't really grip up here, especially on the exit of turn 11. That's the hairpin at the end of the straight. So yeah, the grip is pretty much non-existent, a little bit like Turkey in the real life F1 race, or just the event in general. Of course, the race and that was raining. Practice on Friday was dry. This is pretty much what it feels like. Just no grip. JD does get us there into turn 1, but of course with the exit in Veitnam brings you out in a much better place. You see, I turned in really early to turn 3, just didn't expect to have the amount of grip I had. And now on to lap 20, you can see we've pretty much half the gap of James W already. In 1 lap, I believe that is. I think the gap was 7.6 seconds. Now down to 4.1 as we head into turn 3. Absolutely flying, we're pushing so hard. Of course, I only need 2 championship points to take the title here today. But I want to take it in style, I want the win. Of course, if you ask anyone, you're going to say, you know, some people, actually a couple people might just say, yeah, you know, I'll take P9, or in this league case, in this race, it would be P11. Would have been all I needed. But of course, we're not like that, we want to win. but of course there was that element of caution in my mind. Just thinking, whatever you do, get to the end of this race. You see the gap now almost, well, just under 3 seconds now as we head up to turn 11 and get the car turned in. You can see we are purple sector 1 as we head up to the sector 2 splits. You can just see how much we're pushing there with a personal best for sector 2, so maybe someone's next to that sector 2. I would guess Zam. Of course, they have the current fastest lap. You can see just how much more grip we have here through the middle sector. We've gained about another 2 seconds since the hairpin. Just closing up every corner, much more grip on these brand new softs compared to his, I wouldn't say warm hard tyres, but definitely not in best condition. And we set a 36.6 there on lap 20 in our pursuit of James Dovey. Of course, he was pretty much helpless at this point. Again, no idea what he was thinking. As we head now down through turn 3, you can just see how close we are, just trying not to run into the back of him. Of course, not using overtake or Rich here. I didn't want to overtake him heading down to turn 6 because he would have just got me back up the straight. He does go a little bit defensive, which I just break earlier. I'm not really interested in overtaking there. You see we take a slightly wider line than what I have been doing through turn, I think 7, that left-hander. And as we come out of turn 9, I have every intention here to make this move. You can see just putting the engine for absolutely everything. Moved up to the inside, which will of course turn to the outside, but it doesn't matter, we're already ahead.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
We go a little bit defensive into the hairpin and then just duck back to the racing line when we see the gap back to the Williams. We're now up into P1 with just 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go, 6.5, we'll go with that. So I'm currently half a second down as well. That's just how much I was pushing the last lap. We're now just nowhere near what we set. See, already opening up over 1.5 seconds just through this third sector. We get ready to head down to start another lap. James Dovey pulls into the pit lane, which I think was probably the best thing he could have done at this stage. Of course, he wasn't going to get the win in a normal situation, but as we head onto the final lap, and we are absolutely ecstatic here. As I said, we only need 2 points to win this race, but we come out to the final corner.
That was a heck. You're okay.
And I have never been so annoyed with myself, like ever. Honestly, at this point I was fuming. At first, you know, I was like, okay, I'm a bit of an idiot. And then it sunk in a little bit and I realised what I did. You know, I needed 2 points and I got a little bit cocky. I wasn't trying to show off, but I completely agree that it was complete karma. You can just see how close our car was to the line. Honestly, I was fuming. That was a rough night for me. But anyway, we move on to the sprint race, of course, next day. This is about 22 hours later. I'm not entirely sure on the exact, but 5 red lights and we are off for the sprint race. We get a clean start, of course, starting from pole as we were the only car not to finish in the sprint race, the feature race. See Anton as well, my teammate, jumping up into P2. And now this first stint here, you're going to see why I hate the medium tyres. You can just see normally I'm quicker than the guys behind me. Yeah, nothing against them, but obviously the championship, if you look at it, it's fairly clear to see that on average I have a faster lap time. I'm on the same tyres as 2 of the 4 cars behind me, of course Adam and Peldy. On the soft tyres, you would expect them to be absolutely flying at the moment. So I think Adam started 4th or 5th, already up into 3rd. To head down the straight, of course here, I didn't want to use too much of my battery or my fuel. Of course Adam wants to get past Anton. Anton doesn't want to let him pass, but then I would like to keep the lead.
Keep pushing. Let's capitalize
For this race here, as you can see there into the hairpin, we get a bit of a nudge from Adam behind, who he kindly lets me pass. And he realised I was a bit aggressive and then tries to block off Anton, who takes the position back. The inside, I believe, there into turn 13. Continue the rest of the lap, just trying to pull away from these guys behind. Yeah, as I was saying there before, I was rudely interrupted by getting a little bit of a love tap into the hairpin. For this race, I needed 1 point to take the championship. That's all I needed. One sole point. And as the constructors, we need to outscore Williams by 13 points from the end of this race. As you can see at the moment, currently 1-2. So that wasn't going to be an issue. As we head into turn 1, the first of many lockups running deep. We also get our first track limits warning, which is a little bit annoying to pick that up so early, but it just kind of means I've got to discipline myself for the rest of the race, just focus on not cutting the track. Replay of the start now, you can just see tyre smoke going up from everyone. We come across the middle of the track to defend from, I think it was Absi? Heading down into turn 1, I think there was a little tap from Anton behind that I didn't really notice at the time. But it's all good now. Now heading up into the hairpin for the first time, you can see Adam gets past Anton on the brakes, but then hits me as well. Takes the place, but he does kindly give that back. Jumping now onto lap 2 on the exit of turn 9, you can see once again Anton has to defend from Adam, but doesn't, for some reason he doesn't overtake me here. I know all season he's been hesitant to like fight me, which obviously can be annoying and repetitive, but of course I fully understand why he's doing it. He's a very good team player. But for his race it would have been much better then if he had overtaken me. But we were running too wide down the straight, so no one could get past. Kind of fun to do. As you see into turn 3 once again, lock up, running wide. But yeah, for Anton's race, if he had overtaken me then it would have helped out massively. As we pick up the second track limits warning of the race. And the reason I say this is because if he had got past me, he clearly is better paced than me. So he would have absolutely flown ahead, and then whilst I hold up everyone else. Into turn 11 now once again. A very compromised line there into the hairpin. Have to go side by side with Anton through the corner, which is never what you like. And then at the same time, Adam as well squeezing past, finally getting past on the soft tyres. Something he probably should have done a couple of laps ago. But of course didn't have an opportunity. As now we exit turn 9 on the next lap onto lap 4. And there wasn't really anything I could do here. Adam absolutely desperate to get past me at this point. I don't fight it, of course, tonight after what happened last night, or in the race you saw before this one. I was taking no risks at all here. Whatsoever, no risks. My sole goal here was to cross that line, no matter what. As I was still at this point a little bit devastated with myself. You can see that Adam's got past me here. As we come through the middle, the final sector here, we do actually hit the inside wall there, and very narrowly avoid the wall on the outside. That could have ended my race there. 100%, that could have been it. We do just clip that wall on the inside. I think we do actually hit the wall on the outside as well, but it was a very close call indeed. As now on to lap 5, same place, exit at turn 9, once again, absolutely helpless with the car behind, nothing we can do to defend from Kieran, who just goes up the inside into turn 10 again. I go to the left there, sole hope if we're side by side into turn 11. I might keep the place. Now into turn 11 here, I turned in very early to try and stop Absi driving up my inside, which then severely compromised my exit, which then my Anton through. Which of course I didn't really mind. I broke early here, just let him go. Absolutely no point in fighting that. Of course, constructors is in the back of my head here, as well as my personal drivers, but then I also have to take into consideration my teammates' championship challenge as well. Of course, he's not on contention for P1, it's between me and James Dovey. But for the rest of the places, I would obviously like him to be as high as he can. Coming from turn 11 this time, Absi absolutely flew past me on the straight again. Nothing I could do, didn't really want to fight it. But then just doesn't brake into the hairpin. No idea why. It might be he's racing with the racing line off and just completely misses braking zone, but you can see he just goes straight on. So we reclaim what is, I think, P4 or 5. I think someone might have hinted. No actual idea. Anyway, now on to lap 7. In P4, we go side by side with Zam now. Of course, at this point, I wanted to stay ahead of him. I was going to fight this place the best I could. Obviously, I had DRS this time around, which helped me massively. You can see on the exit of the hairpin, he's still there, which is a little bit annoying. So slightly compromised line here into 13, but luckily he backs out of that. So not really any real issue. No, I desperately wanted to get off these tyres as soon as possible because I hate them, essentially. These medium tyres are horrendous, at least for me. I just can't get them to work around here. You can see that's why I missed the turning point into turn 21, I think it is. Just because I was waiting to see if Anton was going to pit. He did. It annoyed me a little bit, but then he's the car in front, so he gets full priority on when he comes into the pit lane, which we dive in next lap. Of course, braking very late, blocking up. He might as well, you know, never going to use his tyres again. Heading to the pit lane for the soft tyres for the final 6 laps of this race. It's going to be a fun one if we do stick around. You can see soft tyres onto the car. JD also followed me into the pit lane. He also started on the mediums. Now you can see Adam goes past, followed by Yagnow, who pitted really early. I think he got damage in like lap 1 or 2. Same with James Dovey, I think lap 2 damage. He also pitted very early, due to the Veitnam exit there. We stay ahead of him, but get blocked a little bit by Bradley on the exit of the pits, which of course nothing really he could have done about that. He was firmly ahead. We head up now through turn 10 towards turn 11 on lap 9. So this is my out lap, I believe, as well. Doesn't defend the inside, so we just take the opportunity there. Of course, can't take the racing line because he is still there. And now up into P5. Of course, at this point, I'm just thinking constructors. I'd like to do the double here, especially to make up from last night. Of course, I still have that in the back of my head. So possibly just my mental weak side showing a little bit. As we come up now on the next lap up towards turn 11, you can see Bradley just trying to retake the move or just not try and lose too much time. Of course, I thought he let me through last lap, so I was a little bit confused as to why he was fighting me. But of course, it's just things that happen in your head when you're racing. You're just confused by a lot of things that don't go your way, and you wonder why people do it. And now on to lap 11, same place as you've seen many clips so far this video. On the back of Adam through turn 10 into turn 11, he does go defensive. So we slam on the brakes, go a little bit deeper, of course, where he can brake later on the outside. And just hook it all the way around the outside of the Mercedes. Now up into P3. You see there Bradley ran a little bit wide on the exit. If you watch the mirror, I don't know if anyone does. Of course, it's mainly just there to help me if I'm going to be dive bombed, as the actual mirrors on the car are utterly useless. But basically, from what I think happened, he went wide, sort of ran into the wall. And then if you were paying attention to the map, then again, I don't know why you would, but feel free to just go back a little bit in the video. Something happened between him and James Dovey, which obviously made the Williams driver retire. And that moment also, as well as bringing out a safety car, confirmed me as champion. Because James had to win this race in order to keep the championship alive going to Abu Dhabi next week. So him retiring confirms me as champion. But we still have constructors to win. I didn't know this 100% at the time, but I had a feeling. So in the back of my head I was just thinking, okay, he's now out, so that makes me champion, question mark. Of course, didn't want to, again, last night, or the first race of this video, still in the back of my head, a little bit. Again, I'm still just thinking, get to the end of this race, you buffoon. You know, don't do anything stupid again. You can see we have a 2-lap sprint now to the end after that safety car, and I was a little bit shocked by the safety car. It came out on lap 11 or 14, and I was just like, okay, and then went in really quickly. Now to the final lap of the race, you see Zam and Anton going at it up ahead, and then into the hairpin. Anton absolutely sends it into the hairpin. They both run wide, and this brings me right into contention here for a potential win. As we get to turn 12 there, into turn 13, Zam decides to send it up the inside. Goes horribly deep, Anton gets the switchback, goes through, Zam very nearly collects me. That scared the life out of me. I just saw this Williams at a 90-degree angle to my car coming across the track. Absolutely terrifying. But we do survive that one, and now it's a Ferrari 1-2, something you haven't heard for a very long time, I'm sure. He goes a little bit deep into turn 22. Not sure if he was trying to let me through there or not, but I wasn't having any of it. This is his win, he definitely deserves it. And as we come across the line, we get the double for Ferrari. drivers and constructors champions of CSGB F2 Season 2. And to be honest, this definitely makes up for the Tuesday night in the feature race. Like, going from that low at the end of that race, being 20 yards from the finish and crashing, to getting a 1-2 with your teammate taking his first ever win in a league race. It's honestly possibly one of the best feelings I'm ever going to experience. Actually, there is a 1-2 for the Scuderia, and honestly, it never really sailed in. But well, that's this race. That'll be it for the end of this video. As I said at the start, please leave a like and subscribe. It does help me out massively. Also, feel free to leave any comments down below if you have any suggestions on how I can improve. I will read them all and reply to them as well if possible. Apart from that, there should be another video coming tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you tomorrow with, I think it's going to be DGL race. Catch you then.